And hello and welcome to our second episode of Old Guys Loving Life. Now I've got my co-host Wayne with me.
Hey.
And today we're doing something a little different. We're hanging out in the garage.
Yeah.
And so you folks are going to hear some ambient noise, wind chimes, cars going up on the street.
And me drinking a beer.
Yeah, and smoking a big bamboo. And
yeah.
So
we were just laughing about that.
Just let you know, we're not in the studio today. So.
No, we're outside where the air can go around.
But anyway, just a touch with touch base about last week. It was basically an introduction show to introduce ourselves to you guys and let you know who we are and what we're about. Today, I think the topic is going to be Easter because tomorrow is Easter. And everybody does the typical Easter egg thing and go out to dinner and hang with the family and stuff. But I thought, let's take this back a few years, maybe 5 or 6, and talk about how Easter was when we were a child.
Well, that's for a lot further back.
Okay, well then, I'll let age go. Age before beauty. Go for it there.
That's because I got the Georgia shirt and you an Auburn? I don't even believe I'm hugging you with that.
So it was...
No,
it was a few years ago. You grew up here in New Smyrna Beach.
That is correct.
So tell me about Easter when you were a child.
We used to have the Easter egg hunts down at Riverside Drive. And it was put on by the chamber and different churches. And all the kids, excluding me, and we would go hunt Easter eggs. Still ain't figured that out. But... that was the big highlight at the time, and waking up and finding a big basket with candy and everything, and then Mama would dress us up and take us to church.
Yeah. And
then come back, and we'd just start eating candy early because she knew we was going to be wired up for the day. So,
yeah, right.
You know, that way by nightfall things were slowing down for her.
Right. So what kind of, how dressed up did you guys get?
Oh, we could wear little bow ties, ties, little bow ties, and shirt, and they'd take you to the church, and hopefully that you'd stay kind of dressed up at least to the, for the dinner part and everything. Mm-hmm. But that's always...
There's the mailman.
A hard thing. Who knows what, when you're at that age, you're into,
Right. Well, it was
eggs.
It was the same with us. Our mother dressed us all three in like 3-piece suits with the vest, the tie, the bow tie. Of course, we had to stand outside the yard with our little Easter baskets and have the photo made and everything. I have one of us, and my younger brother Steve is wearing white Oxford shoes with white knee socks.
Wow.
And little shorts like Angus Young or something. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, you look at those pictures today, it's kind of embarrassing, but that was part of life.
Yeah, that's the way they look at it at that time. But it wouldn't be bad if really today and through the society and everything, we should go back to that because family don't spend time together. They're busy with their fingers at the table. They don't even look up.
Right.
You know, they don't even hardly knows who's who. You almost got to go through the your cell phone and say, "Hey, this is my name, and I'm sitting across the table from you."
Oh yeah, I see that all the time. Yeah.
That's the way, you know, nowadays it is, and it's really is a shame, but that's the way it goes right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully that they will start changing that. That would be a great thing.
Well, they say everything comes around.
Yeah, in a circle.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Circle of life.
Oh yeah, and we have a lot of life.
So
Let me have a swig of my beer.
We try to stay away from religion and politics on this show, but what was the environment at church? Was your mother very strict? If you guys were, you had 3 boys and
Right.
a girl,
Right.
A sister,
Right.
And I grew up with, there were 3 boys in our house. So if you're all sitting in the pew at church, then invariably one of them is going to make a funny or poke the other one and get into
That's
a fight
me.
or start laughing.
I always do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get slapped in the back of the head constantly.
Oh.
I thought that was customary.
Yeah.
For, you know, that.
So mom was strict at church, and she'd nip that shit in the bud, right?
Right then and there. Or give you the dirty look.
And then when you got home, you really paid for it.
Right.
That's
It wasn't good. It wasn't candy.
what candy. You know, I was just thinking earlier today. This is probably the first Easter in many years I have not had me one of those marshmallow peeps.
Oh, really?
I usually get one like every year, and this year I didn't get one. The girl at work had some, and I didn't want to be childish and go, "Hey, can I have one of those?" But yeah, it sure looked good.
How bad? You know, I can't remember when I tried one of those. I'm always drinking the beer instead.
Oh well, yeah. You need a beer to wash that sugar down, right?
Oh my goodness, I'd be zooming across the room.
Right.
Oh, that sugar.
Well, we can't go through an episode without at least talking about beer. So
Right.
what are you drinking again?
I'm still drinking that Ranger, that
Ranger.
IPA. I just can't get myself away from. I tried some stout this week, and I like some, but I like that hoppy IPA, so I still come back to that every time. It's just coffee stuff, stouts, and that are good, and I even made them, but I'm just not a favorite of that, not as much.
Right.
I can do a little bit of that, but I'll still go by the IPA.
Right. Yeah, I'm drinking an IPA today from Tomoka Brewing Company over here in Port Orange. Got my growler filled up the other night, and you know, talking about different beers, Andrea, my wife, is on a ghost kick. You know, that sour, fruity beer. It's like a
Right.
3-4 point
Yeah,
alcohol, and
just makes you go peel.
oh man, she went to the store and she's getting all these different types of ghosts and bringing them home and testing out which one she likes best. So far, the only one that she likes is the one that Tomoka has,
I mean,
and one that Cigar City has over in Tampa. But you can only get it at the tap room in Tampa. They don't bottle it or can it. So, but yeah, I like my IPA.
They're going to be as we're talking about beers, they're going to be a April 7th from 2 to 6, DeBerry Beer Fest. And there's going to be 30 beers from throughout the Florida area. And there's going to be food trucks.
Yeah.
I don't know how busy they get,
Well-
but there are going to be a bunch of them there. And there's going to be on the St. John River Keeper. doing it, I guess,
Right.
and the whole thing.
Well, you
So
folks
that would be fun.
you folks that are listening to us international or nationally, DeBerry is a town west of here, but between the beach and Orlando, and so that's where he's talking about.
Yeah, and then they Orlando, DeBerry, Sanford. Sanford is really popping with a different brewery. Now, yesterday me and my wife Linda, we were on Canal Street with New Smyrna Beach brewery, and of course I have to have the Shark Attack.
Shark Attack, yes.
I mean, you can't go in there without drinking it.
Right.
And that's the real big thing. And then we went over to Merck's and had some chicken wings and some new beers that they just put on taps. So I was really pretty going good on that one.
Right.
I love their Frankenstein sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And that is so easy to make. Barbecue sauce, hot peppers and stuff, and it's really delicious.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Good chicken wings with Frankenstein sauce. It's very good. So that's on the Beer Fest, and that's coming up. And they're going to do an art thing in downtown Canal Street, and that's coming up real soon. So that's for this week.
Yeah.
And other from that, it looks like spring is sprung, and boy, I've been sneezing.
Right.
So and it's although it's a little cool today.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see Mr. Summers coming down the pike.
That's true. Me too. Warm weather, shorts, t-shirts, sandals, standard uniform of the day.
Right. And now everybody's going to the beach pretty soon, and try to get if you are residents in this area, you get your beach pass. I would recommend it. Do it now or real soon. What is it, $25? And for non-residents that want to go to the beach all the time, I was just reading it, it's $100.
Yeah.
So, if the beach and the traffic is going to be like always.
So we're going to have to start wrapping this up here, folks. 15 minutes goes by really fast.
Really.
We might
does.
think about
We're having a good time.
boosting this up to 30 minutes.
Yeah, because I ain't even finished my beer yet.
I know, me neither. Or the Big Bamboo.
You still got that big old cigar.
As always, we want to hear from you. We greatly appreciate your feedback, see how we're doing. Our email address is oldguyslovinglife@gmail.com. You can find us
please
on
send us something.
You can find us on Facebook, Old Guys Loving Life.
Yeah.
Click like, share, and tell your friends about us.
Yeah, and then we can maybe share your information and drink some beer and talk about it, because that's the whole thing about it, is we're sitting out in the garage here and talk about life and what's happening around the world.
Right. All right, folks, that's it for today. Like I said, give us some feedback and tell us how we're doing. We greatly appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for our topic next week, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, go Georgia.
Hey, War Eagle.
I don't know.